Well, first an encampment and then an attempt to buy up a building. Now Occupy Madison has another plan to house the homeless, and it might seem like a bit of a tight squeeze.
Yeah, with continuing coverage on this, we go to Danica Lewis. This is a very interesting story. It's fair to say that.
Well, an interesting concept to say the least, guys. Chances are you're watching this from the comfort of your living room couch. Well, look around. Cut that room in half and imagine living there. That's about how much space these tiny houses will have, but Occupy says at least it's a place to call home.
I got it. Hold it.
Keith Valaket is stacking with purpose.
This is one of the few options I have.
This solid oak could become his new floor, something Valaket and Mochaccino Chip haven't had in a while.
Hey, Chip, you want to sit? Sit. My dog will probably get a bigger space than I got.
The retired accountant has been ticketed for keeping his pup in a tent.
They think it's being cruel to the dog, but it's okay for humans.
But for 100 hours of work, Valaket could have a roof over his head.
I will make sure we're both taken care of.
Shop manager Steve Burns is in charge of Occupy Madison's construction. Each tiny home only has 98 square feet of living space.
So this is an effort to build something that would be acceptable, that is good enough.
Just slabs of wood now. The houses will have a kitchen, room for storage, even a compost toilet.
It's a proper housing, it's safe housing. It's what we heard that people wanted.
The small structures will be built on wheels, parked along city streets and moved every 48 hours as the group looks for a permanent spot for the tiny house town. But at least it's some sort of safe shelter.
People have no place to go, and this gives people a safe place to be, and they can lock their door at night and be safe.
The work will be well worth it as Valaket looks forward to a place to call home.
It's nothing like having your own space.
Now, the system is set up much like Habitat for Humanity. People will go through an application process, have to put in those 100 hours of sweat equity and pay off materials cost over time. Those leading the build are basing it off of success of the tiny house village in other cities like Olympia, Washington and Portland, Oregon. So they have some other success stories to go off of, but certainly an interesting concept.
Yeah, if there are success stories out there, at least that's a starting point. But moving every 48 hours is definitely...
That's going to be interesting.
Yeah. All right, thanks, Danica.
Sure thing.